All right, we got to get to the bottom of something. Recently, on a podcast episode, it came to my attention because Blay was babbling and blurting, and Blay, you mentioned that your mom does your taxes. It was then revealed to us that, well, she doesn't do your taxes. She calls another tax service.
She uses TurboTax.
She uses TurboTax to take care of your taxes.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
For you.
That's right.
When
she demands to do it, by the way. I just want to make that clear. I'm not asking her to do it. She gets upset when I even toss the idea out of me.
Sure, understood.
Okay.
And that's not what we're going to go after here.
Okay.
What I want to investigate is you brought up at a certain point that you write off your various, I'm going to call them trinkets, doodads. What do you call them? Memorabilia, arcana.
This style feels reductive. They're objects of power that I love to.
What are we talking
about?
Okay, so listen. I'm a collector. I like stuff. I'm a collector of great items. And things I'm going to give you a great example.
You're like channeling Jordan, a collector of great items.
No. Yeah. I want
swords, like battle swords.
Okay. Yes, like I bought a really cool Batman statue.
A statue of Batman.
That's right, a Batman statue done in the style like Sergio, the Mad Magazine guy.
Yeah, I think it's Aragonés, I believe.
Aragonés, that's right. I have a number of swords. Flamethrower. I just got an axe, but not just weapons,
but also not just weapons. You also have like stuff relating to various things you're into.
I have a dinosaur egg, a brontosaurus egg.
A real one?
That's right.
Okay.
Meteorites. I have several, like 3 or 4 meteorites. I have a cool, it's actually 70 million years old. It's a whale vertebrae.
Sure.
It's a giant, it's kind of like the size of two,
so I shouldn't have said
coffee can.
I shouldn't have said memorabilia. You collect shit and you have a lot of shit. You write it off because you said you managed to mention it on the podcast.
Well, we use it for the podcast.
How did we use it?
Because it's the basis of comedy bits like this today.
Yeah.
It's a basis of a comedy bit.
You just
had him list off.
listed 20 things,
Yeah.
which I'm sure.
And also, like, so for instance, summer s'mores. I bought a big broadsword at the Ren Fair,
which was your idea. Here's my point. I don't say, wouldn't it be cool if someone here had a broadsword and you said, I happen to have one, and you brought it in and then you were able to write it off. You go out and buy stuff and then you insert it into the podcast so that you can then write it off. And that's why I brought in Mr. David Melmed, who is our attorney, who's helped us many times in the past. I sense fraud.
I don't know about fraud.
See, there we go.
But in terms of what the IRS may be looking at, we're talking about Section 162 of the Internal Revenue Code.
162.
Okay?
What does Section 162 say?
Ordinary and necessary expenses can be deductible. Now, I guess the question is, are those ordinary and necessary?
Brontosaurus egg.
Are they necessary? It says and necessary.
And
is comedy necessary to this podcast?
Wait a minute. It's not comedy. A brontosaurus egg is not comedy until you foist it upon the podcast. You barrel your way into the podcast and say, look what I got a brontosaurus egg. And we're all like, what the fuck are you talking about, Blay?
Let's let Melmed finish.
Okay,
Melmed, what's the rest of the law?
Let Melmed finish when you don't like the way I'm going. Go ahead.
I like the way you're going.
That's the rest of the law.
In connection with the podcast.
Yes, okay.
All right, so let's take your brontosaurus egg, for example, right? Let's get past the ordinary and necessary. If you didn't bring it into the podcast, would someone bring it up? Or is this something that you're doing to get a write-off? Ooh. And I'm not going to put you on the...
how do they know I have a brontosaurus egg if I don't bring it in?
Well, okay. But
he's mentioned it. We all know he has a dinosaur
This is becoming
egg.
an insane who's on first routine.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I wouldn't have said, you know what this podcast needs is a broadsword, or what it needs is a brontosaurus egg. I would never bring up any of those things.
Sure.
And they're not comedy in and of themselves. You are buying this stuff because you love it. And then you're saying, I got to get this stuff onto Conan's podcast. And then you're claiming that it was a necessary part of your job.
Sure.
That to me feels all backwards.
It could, so I'm going to go a little deeper on this.
Let's let the law decide.
I'm going to go a little deeper. So there's really two sides to this, right?
Okay.
There's talent, right? And company expenses. So if he's bringing this on as on-air talent, using the mic, that's one thing. If you are, for example, using this as a company expense or an expense that the company would deduct, that could eat into the net revenue of the podcast.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
In terms of company expenses, so you're saying if I were to use the sword to defend Conan off mic, that's a company expense?
What? No, it would have to be in connection with the podcast itself.
That's what I'm saying. Like he comes in to do the podcast and I'm I'm defending him physically from attackers.
I'm seeing why you're not a lawyer.
Jesus.
It's now apparent to me.
I'm just asking a question. Socratic method.
Yes.
All right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. So the act itself is not deductible, right? But right? So you coming in with your sword,
yes.
But us sort of cleaning up that mess could be deductible.
So I'm just saying, like
that mess.
But I'm saying, like, okay, there's two things. There's talent, right?
Yes.
There's talent. Okay.
Conan
so also
fell asleep?
to make Conan safe.
I didn't fall asleep. I just got super sad.
When we were in Altadena, when we recorded Summer S'mores and I brought in my sword.
Yeah.
We did a bit where we could hear wild animals that were crazy screaming in the distance, right?
Yeah.
So could I argue to the IRS, I'm there to defend Conan?
No, you're being crazy.
No, boy.
You're being crazy.
Look, you think that people don't write stuff off in crazy ways? I'm
just
bobbing
admit,
and weaving.
Okay, hold on a second. I don't treat the IRS that way. But I guess you like to bob and weave and try and trick Uncle Sam out of his rightful due.
Johnny Law's got his scratch. He doesn't need my couple bucks.
Okay, you got to settle down. I'm going to take you off mic for a little bit.
Okay.
I wish I had a button that silenced Blay.
Okay.
And I would use it so routinely. I might have to just put a bunch of books on top of it.
I'll stop talking.
I want a silence Blay button right here, and then I'm going to build permanent structures on top of it. I think that I'm not comfortable with this interpretation. I do think we all need to pay our fair share. And I think that those things you're buying, they bring you pleasure, they bring you joy. I haven't unreleased the button yet. This is the button, and when I touch it...
I have a question too when you're done.
Okay. You'll have the floor after me, and then anyone else who wants it can not play. Okay. But anyway, I guess my issue is these are his hobbies.
Sure.
And then through the grace of some God we don't understand who works in mysterious ways, he has access to this podcast. And he's bullied his way up to a mic. Sure. And now he's inserting himself into the show and saying, hey, you know what I was thinking about this morning? I was thinking about the Scarlet Witch's cape. That's what I was thinking about. And I'm like, the Scarlet Witch? Yeah, she's a Marvel heroine. I was thinking about her cape and I bought one. Let's have fun talking about that. It all feels manipulative.
Sure.
It feels sinister. And it feels like it is, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's in the spirit of the law.
It's a bit overreaching. Right?
Yes. It's overreaching. And now, then hold on, we'll get to you, Blay. Eventually, I don't know what month, but we'll get there. Sona, what do you want to say?
I wanted to say, all of these things are what make Blay.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and you've mined a lot of that from him, who he is. You've talked about his watches a lot. You've talked about the fact that he has a giant wall-size printout of his face in his apartment.
Yeah.
We don't need to we don't need to give him more ammunition.
What is Blay without the dinosaur eggs? But listen,
I can see his watches. I can see these things, and Blay doesn't need to work at making himself seem more ridiculous or man-childy. He doesn't need to work at it. It's all... This is my problem sometimes with Blay, is that he should just trust in his natural nerdiness and his natural Peter Pan syndrome, you know. No, and this is all the stuff that you have. It's natural, and I can see that you wear a different ironic watch every day that never costs more than $3 and often doesn't have hands on it so you can't tell time because you've got nowhere to be. I can see all this shit myself. I don't need help. But when you come in and your plan is today I'm going to dominate the podcast with my Brontosaurus egg that I just bought, then I smell a rat. I smell a rat.
Can I speak?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I want to say. I think it is, to Sona's point, we come up with a lot of bits on the spot on this podcast. And yes, I have a lot of cool stuff. All right.
No, you don't.
No, I got
you don't have a lot of cool stuff.
Fine. But my point being, I have this stuff anyway. I think it's what I want to say is I don't go into.
You have it anyway.
Well, I think you may want to
shouldn't have said that way.
No, listen.
You should.
What I meant was.
Hold on. Freeze.
You may want to revise that.
Go ahead.
You don't. If you had it anyway, you
Yes.
probably couldn't deduct it.
But
so I'm giving you a chance to
No.
revise it.
But what I'm saying is like this. What I'm saying is.
Do you want to fix what you just said?
I'll say this. I'm not going to fix it because it's honest. I have a sword. Okay, right? I have a sword.
Many
and
swords.
I'm going to the Ren Fair, all right? And I'm at the Ren Fair, and I'm like, oh, man, I should get a sword and bring it in because it could be a good comedy bit. So I buy another sword, and that's what I'm writing off because it's for a comedy bit. I'm not writing off the one I already have. I'm like, I'm taking things from my life and heightening them, to use a comedy term.
Okay, so
but why? Why do you think this show needs so much help with comedy?
I don't think it needs help.
Why do you think this show is just is bereft of all entertainment unless you go out and buy a feathered helmet and bring it in to save us?
I serve
poor Conan O'Brien.
No.
Can't think of a thing.
That's
Guess
projection.
what I bought? I just bought some underwear made of caramel at a Ren Fair.
I would buy that. That's projection. I do not do that. As a producer, I like to give my host a buffet of choices from which he can pick and choose. Maybe I'm offering mac and cheese. Maybe and when we're saying what should we do for a segment, and Sona says, this happened to me. Hopping is like, this happened to me. I say, hey, I just bought a sword at the Ren Fair. What do you think about this? Sometimes you choose from my bucket. Sometimes you choose from others. And if you choose from my bucket, then it's all works out.
Choose from my bucket.
What I do is
can I
live for this podcast.
Can I write off stuff too?
I live.
You realize you're just.
I know. I live my life in service of this podcast,
and
that means buying
my
stuff.
edibles.
He can't stop.
Sorry.
You can't stop.
I want to write off all my edibles.
You talked about going to Disneyland with your kids.
Yeah, can I write
Can
that
she write
off?
those tickets off?
Okay.
All right, I'm going to use my wife's favorite phrase, which is there's a lot to unpack here. That's for you, Liza. Stop saying it. And we are going to continue this in another episode because this is vital to the American interest.